everyone. Welcome to the Trucking Tower podcast. I'm very excited to be joined today by David Mandel, and I'm really looking forward to talking through these questions and getting some advice and some success tips with David. Just as a starting point, if you could let everybody know, where were you, what happened, what inspired you to do what you do today?
Thank you, Andy. David Mandel. Well, I've spent 28 years building and exiting businesses in financial services and insurance in Southern California. The largest one was Alliance United Insurance Company, which was an insurance underwriter for auto insurance, which sold to Kemper in 2014. At the time, had over 450 million in annual premium and over 600 employees. And when I was done with that, I realized that I don't want to be operating a business anymore and having employees. I'd rather be investing in the next generation. And I started dabbling previously as an angel investor. And that's where actually I say, okay, that's what I want to do. I want to do that full time. So it was that transition where I said, okay, I'm going to get out of being an operator. I did it 4 times. I built 4 businesses that I exited. Too young to retire, but what's going on in the tech world is amazing. It's just we're at the convergence of all these amazing technologies, and what can be done with it's just outstanding. I want to be part of that scene. I'm not necessarily going to go start one startup and do that again. Instead, I want to be privy to it all, and I want to talk to the smartest people around the world who are building startups to change the world. And I just immersed myself into that world. I started getting involved into angel investing, following all the funds, talking to GPs who are running funds, joining angel groups, going to incubator programs. But it was all, so it all happened in 2014, primarily when I started to get a taste of angel investing and got out of my last operating business. That was the start about 8 years ago to where I am today.
Excellent. That's a great track record, and it sounds like a lot of fun what you're doing now. So that's really neat. So if you could, for our audience, maybe outline the top 3 mistakes to avoid based on your experiences in business and in venture capital.
Boy. Well, as a startup, the things to avoid, one is trying to raise money too early. And I see that a lot. I see a lot of founders trying to raise money before they really build anything, thinking they need money first. And it's so easy nowadays to just do it. So, and the other mistake is really kind of just piggybacking that, is just making excuses and waiting and not doing it. If you have an idea, you don't have to quit your day job. Get together with a buddy. It's always better to have 2 to 3 co-founders. Get a couple other friends who are complementary in skills to be passionate about the same idea. Start working on it in your spare time, evenings and weekends. Start building something. Get some online resources. It's so easy with all the hosted services to just do it and build something and see where it goes. And and then raise small amounts of friends and family money, and don't go and then launch and try to get some traction and iterate and say, just do it and do it fast and build on it. And when you see that you have something that's working, then quit your day job and go raise some angel funds. But don't go out and try to raise money to build a product. One thing as an investor that turns me off the most is seeing a pitch deck where someone's trying to raise money so that they can put together a team and build the product. It's like, no, you got that backwards.
Right. Yeah, build the product and then get the funding.
So the number one mistake is really all related. It's delaying or thinking you need money first. So either or, they're kind of related. Both of those mistakes is one, waiting and making excuses to not do it. You don't have to quit your day job and you don't have to raise money. You just go do it.
Very good. I was going to ask you for your top 3 success secrets also for successful ventures that you've seen, launch in a good way What did they do? How did it work? And you've been in multiple. So, give us some ideas on some top success secrets.
So for tech startups, it really is kind of, the opposite of what not to do. Don't delay. So what success is just doing it. The biggest part is getting started. There's so many people out there that say, I had that idea. That was a good idea. I could have done that, but they didn't. It's all about the execution. There's, all these smart founders. There's all these smart people out there with all these great ideas. The difference from those who succeed and those who fail is execution. So it's just getting up and doing it and iterating and listening and talking and listening to your customers. So the successful tech startups are iterating constantly. They're listening and getting feedback, and they're out there. They make a product, they make an MVP, a minimum viable product. That's a really crappy, basic product, but they launch it and they get everyone's feedback. They get everyone to use it. They get everyone to look at it, and they keep iterating on it and keep testing and testing and testing. And that goes for the product itself. It goes for their advertising. It goes for everything. But constantly excelling at executing by iterating and testing and talking and getting feedback. The mistakes are sitting there for a year and trying to build the perfect product before you launch it in a vacuum, because it's not going to be the right product. You have no idea what your customers want until you give them the product. And it turns out that the feature they use the most is probably buried 10 levels deep in your software. It's a feature you never thought anyone's going to want. What winds up being the main value to your customer is never what you think it's going to be. So just publish early, iterate, and keep iterating based on the customer feedback. And be diligent about constantly seeing what your customers really want and not assuming you know what they want. You're not your customers.
Absolutely. Yep, I'm on that path myself with some technology right now. So, I appreciate your advice and your things to avoid and your success secrets. What would you say overall about your guest experience on the show today?
Great.
I really do appreciate you coming on with me. How can we support you?
Right. Well, I am an angel investor, and I'm invested in over 500 startups. It's actually at 621 on my last count on my spreadsheet. I've been saying over 500 for 2 years now. So, I, since 2019, managing a fund. We're just in the process of raising fund 2. So it's Emerging Ventures, website's emerging.vc. And there's information on there. Startups can go on there and reach out to me and apply for funding or advice. And anyone interested in investing alongside with me on my venture is welcome to inquire about getting more information about how they can join me. We're looking for limited partners to come in on Fund 2. Fund 2 is still open. Fund 1's closed. Fund 2 is open.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate your advice and coming on. You've been through many ventures and successfully exited multiple businesses. So really appreciate your advice. What would you say to our guests out there? I have a lot of tech friends from 20 years in technology. What would you say to those folks as a final word of advice?
It's an amazing time to be in tech. Stay current, have fun, build something cool.
Very good. Well, David, I really do again appreciate you coming on with me. I really appreciate the advice, and I'll be sure and post this to LinkedIn, YouTube, and Buzzsprout. Get a lot of views, and we're averaging about 18,000 views a month right now. So look forward to promoting you, helping you maybe get some new funding partners. And that's going to do it for this edition of the Trucking Tower podcast. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, David.